Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, October 14th, 2015 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I expand in my knowledge of myself. And today we actually have a very lunar day. It is all about the Scorpio moon. The Scorpio moon is making many connections. We start with a connection to Venus, which I talked a little bit about yesterday. That's just right after midnight. Pacific time. We connect to Neptune. We connect the moon to Mars, Pluto, and Jupiter. And these are all favorable, good connections, easy connections. But, the moon in Scorpio is not necessarily always the easiest, easiest placement. I personally love Scorpio moons. I surround myself with Scorpio moon people. Shannon Hugman, Nicole Ullman, both Scorpio moons. I pull them in. But with the moon in Scorpio, we want to look at what is my motivation. Scorpio is such a cool sign. It really deals with interesting realms of power, transformation, boundaries, sexuality. And so the moon, anytime the moon's in any placement, it can show us what's hidden, what we've been avoiding, our feelings around these things, and how we're working around it. So I want you to look at, with all these connections to the moon in Scorpio, because it's going to be activated, what is your motivation? What is my motivation? What motivates me? What do you think motivates you? And what's underlining what you think motivates you? And then even deeper, what's even deeper than that? Because that's the energy of moon in Scorpio, going to the deepest level possible. And with all of these connections, it's definitely available. You'll get to see your motivation in action in many different ways. Your motivation when it comes to your physical body, your motivation when it comes to romance, partnership, your motivation when it comes to your spirituality, your intuition, your motivation when it comes to passion, taking action, your motivation to around the structures of the world, the changing of the world, taking your place in the world, and your motivation to your learning, expansion. So we're really taking a look at this. And to just know your motivation, you empower yourself. You get to make a choice. Is this something that I want to motivate me, or is this something that I didn't realize was motivating me that doesn't feel good? Like I don't want to be motivated by fear, for instance, or motivated by fear or anger. I want to be motivated by love. I want to be motivated by, yes, this feels good. So just take a look at that so that you can, shift your trajectory into, being motivated by, like I said, love, if that is what you want to be motivated by love, and moving forward from that way. I also want to look at, we're building to tomorrow, Mars trine Pluto. And as I was writing down all the stuff about the astro today, what came up really strongly is that there's a lot of violence against sexual energy, which is Shakti, feminine, creative energy that's always flowing through us. It's like a volcano. Even if you think that you've shut that down, you've shut that stuff down, it's like a volcano. It's always there, ready to erupt. And there's a lot of violence, whether it's violent physically in nature or violent passively in nature. There's a lot of violence against sexual energy. So becoming aware of our energy and using it with, a motivation that feels good to us, you get to take charge of this energy and shift it. You get to master it within yourself and bring it to a new level. And this is part of the uncovering of the feminine. So we got a lot of work with this. Like the eclipse is over, we had all that feminine energy, and yet still it's making its way in, like they say, like those rocks that carved away by the water. I feel like that's the way the feminine's coming in. It's not like all like, here we are. That's not the way of the feminine. It's coming in strong like water, but it's, allowing the time to mold the world. And so this is your way today, by tuning in to your motivations. You will have your intuition going today. You may see some, get some of your triggers going with this, but tune back in. Empower yourself by tuning back in to your motivation in this. And that makes you the master. It's always about the master when you come into a new place of yourself and recognizing that even though we're one in this whole world, it's always about you and how you are showing up. And if you're showing up authentically to yourself, that's the mastery of it and being conscious of it. And the other card I pulled is courage. Have the courage. Have the courage to look at it. I feel like part of that violence against sexual energy is is that sometimes it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to talk about, to look at, to, I don't know, express it in all ways. And this is where we're like, hey, you're a human, I'm a human. We both have sexual energy. Amazing. Even children do. And I know that's weird, but it's inherent in all of us. And it may not be the strongest flow, but it's there. It's part of that creativity. So we have to have the courage to get real about it and recognize it and not make it a villain, because it's not. It's actually a very powerful, important force in all of us. So, what's your motivation? Share with me. What do you want to be motivated by? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I don't know. I think when we share, we have an opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, that motivation. I would like to move in a direction like that. That's like how I want to shift. So empower each other too by be willing to share. That's it for today. Have a beautiful Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.